Hello, online ESL teachers. Teacher Holly here today with a video on doing it well, super props. So here's the thing, we know we're supposed to have props in our online teaching, but that can be very quickly overwhelming and messy. I don't know about you, but things can just start falling out everywhere. So I have 4 strategies to help you do this well, to use your props well. Strategy number 1, simple. Keep your props simple. Keep it simple. I don't know about you, but I one time used a prop where I was like, oh, I know, I'm going to play with darts and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And it ended up being a complete disaster. The darts went everywhere. They fell off. The little things I put on them, the tassels I put on them fell off. It did not work. Keep it simple. And by simple, I mean things that are easy to use as a prop. I will show you this. This is my apple. I will tell you that if you were to actually feel this apple, and folks, this is a real live apple, but it's also about 3 months old. So if you look at it really close, ew, it's all squishy. But this is my super apple prop. It's been sitting here for 3 months and I use it every single day. I'm not joking, every single day. So simple things, apples, stuffed animals, a ball or two, something simple. Make sure you keep your props simple. If it looks really complicated, if it's going to take a lot of setup, if it's going to be something that you don't know how to store it because it's too big or it's too small or it's too oddly shaped, get rid of it. Keep it simple. You will thank me for that later. Okay, tip number 2, after keeping it simple, is to keep it handy. I am a big fan of 2-dimensional props because they can be very, very handy. Now I'm going to pick up my 2-dimensional prop holder for you right now. And look, I don't have a webcam or external camera. It's in my laptop, so this is going to be a little weird as I turn things, but bear with me. Okay, so here are my 2D props. Super simple, this little container divided by letters, and they're all sitting right here. So let's say that I'm prepping for a lesson, and I realize, I need a picture of a camel. Do I have a camel? Look under my C's. I pull it out really quickly. Aha! I have a camel. Ta-da! A camel. So I like 2-dimensional props because they're right there. I can pull them out. I can use them toward the camera, away from the camera. I can point to them, and then I can refile them quickly. Sometimes I can even refile in the middle of the lesson while I'm listening to the student. Subtly, of course. But that way I can help keep my space clean. Would it be great if I had a stuffed camel? Yes. Would it be great if I had a real camel? No, that would be weird. But a 2-dimensional camel on a piece of paper that I've laminated, way easy. Also, when you keep your props, most of your props 2-dimensional, if you want to, you can slap a magnet on the back of them, and then you can use them behind you. So for instance, I have a little monkey here who I use both as a prop and as a reward system. He has a couple of magnets on the back. He goes right back here on my magnetic whiteboard, and now my prop is still visible, and it's simple, it's 2-dimensional. I can store it. So keep it very, very simple and handy, very close to you. Now I'm going to take you on a little field trip around my classroom. And like I said, I don't have a webcam, so I'm going to actually pick up my laptop and move it. That's weird, I know. But I want to show you, when I say simple, I mean literally simple. And when I say handy, I mean handy. I am sitting in a corner, and right here, I'm looking at you, obviously, but right here, moving, see my messy phone and cords. I have right here this little shelf that has all of my 3-dimensional props stored. So I have my balls, I have some plastic animals, like my Mr. Giraffe here. I use him a lot. And some plastic food down there. Then to this direction on my shelf, hello outside, I have my drawers in here where I have some more props stored right here that are nice and handy. And then on my desk next to my computer, I have my bin of my 2-dimensional props. And last but not least, I have a bin of stuffed animals that I use. So it's handy. It is all right here. The beauty of that isn't so much during the class, although that's important. The beauty of that is for my planning. When I sit down to plan, I'm not going all over the house trying to find stuff. It's all here. So keep it handy within arm's reach. And even if you are the best planner in the world, which I know you are because, you've been watching my videos, but even if you are the best planner in the world, sometimes a slide will pop up that you're like, either I don't remember seeing that or I didn't think of this prop, and all of a sudden something comes to your mind and boom, you can grab it because your props are right here and they are handy. So along the lines of simple and handy, I talked about my stuffed animals. I encourage you, head to your nearest thrift store. You can get stuffed animals like at mine, you get little ones for 50 cents a piece or $1 max. Grab yourself some basic stuffed animals. Don't go with the elaborate animals. You don't necessarily need those. And keep something simple. Like here is my Mr. Cat. He comes out all the time, not just for cat, not just for opening sound of k, not just for middle vowels like ah, not just for ending sounds like t, but also for the body parts. Look, an ear, look, a leg, look, a tail, look, a color, gray, black, white. And there's all sorts of things. One little prop that I'm using this all for. Also, I use this prop to model conversation. I have a student that isn't really talking. Amy, what's your name? Wait, that wouldn't make sense because I just said her name. Amy, what word? She doesn't say cat. What word? Cat. Good job, cat. Amy, what word? Cat. So I use the prop for modeling as well. So when you keep them simple, you're not overwhelmed with props everywhere. When you keep them handy, you can access them not only when you are planning your lessons, but you can access them in the middle of a class if necessary. And as good as my planning is ahead of time, yes, I still grab props, sometimes at the last minute in the middle of a lesson, because I just thought of it. All right, tip number 3, make sure your prop is visible. Now, you notice I've been writing on a whiteboard. This is a prop. This is a really good prop, especially if you can draw, which, I really can't, but it is a great prop. You can write words, you can sketch out illustrations, you can demonstrate something, you can show others how a word might sound to the student. But notice what I'm doing with my whiteboard. I'm not writing down here and then holding it up. No, propped on my shoulder, writing here, using a darker marker with color to keep it interesting. So it is visible. Keep your props visible. Now, there are several lessons that I have taught where you have to teach the difference between big and small, or big, bigger, and biggest. And so I have a super little tiny ball that is actually, gotta admit it, my son's Nerf gun, bullet, whatever this is, but I use this as a ball. This thing is little. They can't see this. But when I hold it up next to this ball and I say, big, small, big, small. See how I'm moving this toward the camera? I'm keeping it visible so the student can see it. Whatever prop you use, don't just flash it up there and then put it down. Keep it visible in the screen the whole time. That may feel weird to you, but trust me, it's crucial for the student. It doesn't make any sense to say, ball, ball. Ball starts with the whole time. Put it up there so they're getting that visual reinforcement. Keep your props visible to the student. If they're small, move them toward the camera. If they're tiny, move them toward the camera. Hold them there for a minute so you're not just like, and the kids got whiplash. Hold them there for a minute. Small. Notice the fact that you need a manicure. Don't worry about that. Small. Big. Small. Big. So keep them visible to the student. That is tip number 3. Very crucial. I'm sticking my whiteboard back on my shoulder. Hello. Tip number 4, and the final tip that's very important for props is do it again. Refer to it again in the lesson. Try to think of your props as continuous throughout the entire lesson. You're not just throwing the cat up there, oh, because the slide says cat, boop, now I'm done. No, you want to keep referring to that cat. That is continual reinforcement to the student. And when you are using the same prop again later on in the same lesson, that is really big. It's just like TPR, which I'm going to make another video about that, but it's just like TPR. When you use the same thing over and over again, it's just reinforcing. That repetition is reinforcing what the student is learning. So give them that visual repetition over and over again with your prop. You notice I just kept my prop up here. I told you the word and then I kept it up here for a while. And then I pulled my prop back up again and again and again. So make sure you do that. Your four tasks with props is tasks are, I'm an English teacher. Hello, your 4 tasks are, number 1, keep it simple. If it's complicated, you're not going to use it and it's probably going to fall apart. Just ask my student who laughed hilariously when I did my spinner in class and the spinner flew off, hit my laptop and went that way. It was a really, really fine moment in my teaching. So keep it simple. I've learned that the hard way. Number 2, keep it handy. Go with as many 2-dimensional props as you can. To keep your 3-dimensional props simple so that they're right here and accessible. Step number 3, keep it visible so the student can see it. There's no point in a prop that comes up and then disappears. That does nothing for the student. Step number 4, and probably the most important tip, is to refer to it again. Keep coming back to it. We want to reinforce the vocabulary, the sentence structure, the target sentence, whatever it is that we're going for, we're trying to reinforce that over and over and over again. So I hope those 4 tips help you with your props. Have fun using them. I invite you to like and subscribe to this video, and I will see you in the classroom. Happy teaching.